Hello, Jonathan.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Good, good. Well, welcome to the festival. Day two.
Day two, yes.
How are you feeling?
More prepared.
Okay, more prepared because yesterday, you were interviewed during our live, right? Yeah, cool. So I'm gonna ask you again to introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Jonathan Chiarle, filmmaker.
Hmm? Okay, cool. Jonathan, let's talk about your movie. Okay, so tell me more. That like quick synopsis
A quick synopsis.
or a synopsis, not necessarily to have to be quick.
So the film is about a young man who is leaving prison,
Mm.
and it takes place in the moments leading up to it.
Okay.
And him kind of dealing with the emotions that come up and whatever may happen.
Okay. Okay. How many days did it take you to film this short?
Well, initially the short was much longer. It was had many scenes. I think about 12 different scenes. The original version, the film took the majority of it took place after he actually is out of prison,
Okay.
and we shot. Principal photography was 2 weekends, so 4 days. I always do pickups,
Okay.
so we had an extra day of that. For the film as it exists now,
Mm.
is what I decided to do. Well, for one, let me backtrack and just say I spread myself really thin kind of making this film. It was sort of
Okay.
a passion project,
Mm.
very personal to me. I wrote, directed, produced, and acted in it.
Okay.
So, as we shot it, and I had a great team, they
Mm.
were really fantastic. I just spread myself too thin. Like,
Yeah.
when you take over so many roles, you lose kind of a bit of control in the other roles. So,
I do agree with you, Jonathan. Yeah. Yeah.
so the film didn't work out as I initially intended.
Okay.
And I sat on the footage for over a year
Okay.
and finally decided the original opening scene, which I had actually rewritten a few weeks before we started production, I decided to use that
Mm.
and shoot a different opening scene,
Okay.
combine those two together, and
Yeah.
make its own complete short film.
Was it difficult for the continuity, or was not? Because you were obviously
Well, that's the great thing. When you're in your own film, and you also direct your own film, you're there.
Okay.
So,
So
continuity
everything can happen.
other than my hair,
Yeah. Okay.
like how did I shave that day?
Okay.
That was really the only continuity issues
Okay.
that we had.
Cool. 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 What would you change, Jonathan?
Would I change?
Yeah.
I can't ask the filmmaker what they would change. That's the thing. There's this new.
I ask it all the time.
There's this new kind of idea of these directors going back and they're
Yeah.
messing with their old works.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, absolutely I would change everything. We all would. We're artists. We're perfectionists. We want our art to be the best it possibly can be. But in a sense, I think like to go back and to redo something almost kind of takes away from the sweat and blood and tears that you put into it before. Like, let me fix this other thing instead of using that energy to put it into something else. Because I think it was Kurosawa who said that
I love Kurosawa, by the way.
creative people,
Yeah.
directors, creative people are very selfish and can never be satisfied.
Mm.
And he says that the way he's been able to continue to work is that he feels like one day he'll make something good. And I kind of adopted that philosophy. So when it says that if I could change something, yeah, I would, but am I going to? No. I really kind of do wish the original story had kind of panned out. I would have been curious to see what that film was. But filmmaking is filmmaking, and at least it didn't stay on a hard drive.
Yeah,
And now it
of
does
course.
exist in some form.
Yeah.
All the actors who didn't make the cut are credited
Mm.
in the special things.
Yeah. Yeah, that is beautiful, Jonathan. And you know what? We evolve. You know, so what I did like 2 years ago, you know, this is who I was. You know, 2 years ago, and you know, we evolve. There's, of course, we change things. We would want to change things, but of course, we evolve. Jonathan, any future projects in film? Because I know that you are an artist as well. Like specifically in the film industry. Any future projects?
Any future film projects?
Yeah.
Well, there's another film in me. There's a new film in me. I've been thinking on it a long time. The pandemic kind of definitely like really put a stop to the filmmaking gears, and then I'm originally from Ohio. I've only been out here for about a year and a half. Weirdly enough, the filmmaking community in Ohio is much bigger.
Oh, really?
Than here.
Okay, interesting.
Which was a surprise to me.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, really, like I said, since the filmmaking kind of stopped, that's when I turned to visual art. And the Owen House, this has been a really awesome outlet. They've accepted all my work to show in some of their shows here. They're wonderful, wonderful people.
Yes, they put up like beautiful shows. Yeah.
But there is a film brewing. I've written down. I even forced myself to write like a first page at least, you know. And at this point, it's kind of like trying to meet people, which is nice that my film is showing and it's local. If I wanted to, I could walk. It'd be about a 45-minute walk, but
yeah. Cool. Good. Well, Jonathan, I want to thank you for your interview today. It was a pleasure interviewing you twice. And so this video is going to be available on YouTube like in a few upcoming weeks. Okay, just last thing, where people can follow your work.
Follow my work. Okay, well.
If you want them to follow your work.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a filmmaker. The idea is to get your films out there and be seen. You know? It's great to finally get in front of an audience. Vimeo channel, Jonathan Chiarle.
Okay.
Chiarle is the last name. I spell it and pronounce it.
Okay.
Also, I have an Instagram. I think it's at Johnny Chiarle.
Okay, Johnny Chiarle.
Which has my Vimeo link as well.
Okay, cool. Thank you a lot, John.
Thank you.
Jonathan. And I was going to say Johnny, but cool. And I will see you around. Okay, cool. Thank you.